everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Danielle and this is Danielle's Books. Thanks for stopping by. This is going to be a reading Christmassy new release thrillers that just came out over the last couple of months. I am really excited about this video. I've had this in the works for a little bit. I had to wait to get the books or the holds in from my library and all that good stuff. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to this channel because I would love to have you, and give this video a thumbs up and check out the description box down below because I'll have a whole bunch of stuff linked down there, including the books that I'm reading in this video. And those books are The Christmas Appeal by Janice Hallett, and I've already technically read all these books. I'm filming this intro afterwards, just so you know. I read The Christmas Appeal by Janice Hallett. This is my first time reading anything by her. Actually, I haven't read anything by any of these authors. And all these are technically like short novellas, technically. So there's the first book. The next one I read in this video is Christmas Presents by Lisa Unger. And the last one I read in this video is The Christmas Guest by Peter Swanson. So if you would like to hear my thoughts on these three books, stay tuned because I definitely give you them. All right, I am currently in Zach's office / the playroom, and I wanted to come to you with my first update, which is for The Christmas Appeal by Janice Hallett. So first of all, I love this cover. Second of all, I'm about, let's just start there, 43 pages into the book, and I'm reading this physically only, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in just a second, but let me give you like the rundown of what's going on. So we start off this book knowing that something has happened at this play, but we don't know yet what has happened at this play. So we have two detectives, and their names are, two lawyers. Their names are Femi and Charlotte, and they're going through this like huge stack of letters, email conversations, text message conversations, flyers, and all of this, and they're being asked to like work on this case. But we don't technically know what happened at this play, and so that's kind of where the story begins. And then, you know, we're going through all of that stuff with the lawyers, basically. And so we're following this group of people who are like the fairway players in this town, and they're rehearsing for their like big holiday play, which is going to be like Jack and the Beanstalk. And we have two main couples who are like the head honchos of this production, of this like committee and all of that. We have the Hallidays and we have the McDonalds. Technically the Hallidays have like the upper hand, but the McDonalds are like leading the production of this play. Like I think the Hallidays are like the chairman or something like that. And so there's a lot of tension. It's very petty, everyone involved. There are different people who are like part of the play, who are just trying to like suck up to both sides, which has been kind of like funny to read. Like, this one woman, I don't remember her name, she'll like text one person like, oh my God, did you see what Celia, just said? Like, that's so crazy and blah, 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 blah. And then a second later, she'll text, the McDonald's, her name is Sarah, the mom, and Sarah's the one who she was like, oh my God, can you believe Celia, blah, 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 blah. And then a second later, she'll text Celia and be like, Sarah's ideas are so dumb, you know, like she's playing both sides of the field because she basically wants to cater to whoever's going to end up like winning the next, like I guess election or vote or whatever. So that's been interesting. Lots of pettiness, kind of fun. And like Celia is like basically calling all of Sarah's ideas dumb. Like she wanted to get this humongous beanstalk that has been like used in like plays in the past, and like, but this is going to be like the showstopper for this play. And Celia's like telling someone through a text like, Yeah, that's a little been there, done that. It's not like, wouldn't be like my favorite thing. And like Sarah is like all about this beanstalk. She has like crew people who are cleaning it, scrubbing it down, making it like the wow factor of the production. Now, that's where I'm at so far, 43 pages in. Like I said, I don't know, something happens on this production, but we don't know yet as of 40 pages in. But like occasionally like the lawyers will come back in and talk to each other in between like all of these like notes and flyers and text and all of that. So back to what I was saying about reading it physically. Honestly, I think that's the way to go with this book, unless you did physically and audio. I think that this would be a hard book to read with just the audiobook, which wasn't my intention. My intention was to do audiobook and physical, but I just think that physical is just the way to go, and I'll show you why. Because like I said, almost the entire book is between, I don't want to, well, there's not much spoilers yet, is like literally just emails and text messages like back and forth, and I think that would get really confusing. Like here's another example of something else that I just passed. I think that would get really confusing to listen to over audiobook. Like here's something else that they were investigating. Like at the beginning of the book, when it started, the first like 20 pages, you're getting tossed a ton of names, and I had to keep kind of flipping back to the beginning to see if like it was a name that had already been said, if it was somebody who was like relevant, who we were reading like an email exchange from. So I just think that it would be a hard one to read just audio, but maybe that's just me. But yeah, here we go. I just ended with like the two lawyers like talking back and forth to each other. So like we have like a couple pages of like text bubbles. So it's kind of a fun reading experience, but yeah, it would be hard to do just audio, I think. But I don't know, because I haven't tried it. So I'm going to keep reading. I have about like 140 pages left. This is a pretty short one, and I'm really curious to see how this is going to end and what happens. I should have another update though. Probably maybe like around like the 100 page mark we'll aim for, but we shall see. I will get back to you when I have another update on the Christmas Appeal. All right, sorry about the lighting. It's currently 6 a.m. It's a different day, and I have made it to the 100-page mark of the Christmas Appeal. So, a murder, we know now that a murder has happened, but we still don't know who was murdered in the play. But there's been this whole thing with the beanstalk, like there was like a secret trap door, and only like specific people knew about it, like the Hallidays knew about it, but the McDonalds, who are directing the play, didn't know about it. They were sent to like check on the trap door to make sure it was like closed or something. I don't know. There's a whole lot of stuff happening with the beanstalk, and there's a lot of tension specifically around that. I'm actually really enjoying this. I'm having a fun time. I've gotten more used to like the layout with all the different forms of like communication that are happening in here. Like I said, I've gotten more used to it, and I have gotten like the characters more straight. There's a lot of characters to keep track of, mainly because there's just so many different people involved in the play, and so like they're all writing different people, like I said. But yeah, I'm excited to see who actually was murdered, because they make it seem like it's one person, just because of like where they are and who was supposed to be there. But then like a little while later, we hear from like the lawyers again, and they were like, oh, maybe that's like not the person who was murdered. I don't really know. Also, this play happened in December of 2022, and the lawyers are working on the case in November of 2023. So just to get the timeline straight, because it actually took me up until just now, the lawyers communication, to realize that that was like the timeline that I was dealing with. I didn't put that together right away in the first interaction that they had. So yeah, I'm really liking it so far, and I probably won't have an update now until the very end of the book. This is 187 pages and I'm at page 100, so I'm probably, hopefully, gonna just fly through this. It'll depend on Maverick, which is why it's kind of dark and I'm talking not super loud. He's asleep in the next room over, so yeah, if he stays asleep, then I should be able to power through this one right away. And then I think the next one I'm gonna do is Christmas Presents by Lisa Unger, because I have the audiobook already for that one, and I think today will be like more conducive to listening to an audiobook. So that is my little update on this one. Having a lot of fun, and I will check in when I have finished the book. All right, I'm currently in the car right now running errands. I've got Maverick in the back, so if you hear him, I apologize, but he is asleep because he loves his car seat, and we've been out running errands, like I said. So I have finished the Christmas Appeal by Janice Hallett, and I had a lot of fun with this one, but it's not one that'll probably stick with me for a while. It was a fun, like, holiday read, and that was enjoyable, but the ending, I wanted more, or I just wanted something different. There were a couple characters, mainly one, that I wish was more fleshed out. We got a little bit more from them, and so that was a little bit disappointing for me, and I wasn't a big fan of how the whole mystery came to be. So I think I'm gonna give this 3.5 stars. Again, I had a lot of fun with it though, and it did have some like Christmassy vibes. I mean, Santa was literally dead. That was the mystery we were solving. So yeah, a fun read, not one that'll stick with me forever, but a good time nonetheless. Next up, I started Christmas Presents by Lisa Unger, and I've actually made it 120 pages into this already. And this one, I'm definitely intrigued by the story, but I'm having an issue with how it's written / laid out. Basically, each chapter could be told from like different perspectives. We could be in a different timeline, but we're not really told whose perspective we're reading from, whose point of view, and we're also not told the time frame that it is like leading into the chapter. So that was a little bit it took a while to get used to that. I've been reading this one physically because of that reason. And I actually just got the audiobook from Hoopla, so I think I'm going to try and do physical and audiobook for the second half of the book. This one's like 250 pages, so I have like a little over 100 pages left. And this one, we're following this girl Maddie, who she's been through a lot. One of her best friends, or her best friend, was killed. They were actually both attacked, and Maddie survived. They were attacked by her ex-boyfriend, and her friend Stephanie, like I said, was dead. That was like 10 years ago. And since then, like, two of her other best friends, Ainsley and something else, have been missing for quite a bit. And there have been also other missing girls that have popped up in this town within this like time frame that we're dealing with. And so, like I said, she's dealt with a lot, and she has like one really good friend now who's kind of been through all of this. His name is Badger. I'm interested to see what will come of the two of them in the story. I think they're about to like work together to try and solve these disappearances together, because I think that A, they want to, and B, someone comes to town, and that person's name is Harley. He is a semi-famous podcast host. He actually drops by her bookstore, and she kind of like fangirls over him for a second, but then realizes like, oh, he's gonna want to talk to me about you know, this cold case, her friend Stephanie's murder. And he was kind of talking to her about all these girls that have disappeared, what has seemed similar about the disappearances, and all of that. Also, another element to the book is that she gets a mysterious like Christmas present every year, like at the same time, from Evan, who's in prison right now. So I'm intrigued by that. Like I said, there's some intriguing elements in the story, but I'm just not a fan of how it's been written so far. But I'm dealing with it because I want to see how this book ends. I don't see this being a 5-star book unless something crazy happens at the ending, but I'm still having a good time and I'm still interested to see how the story wraps up. So yeah, I will keep you updated. I'm going to try and update you again for Christmas presents around the like 200 page mark, and then at the end, unless I get super invested and I just read it all the way through. But we shall see. And the next up will be the Christmas Guest, which I'm really, really excited about that one. So I will catch up with you when I have another update, hopefully soon. All right, we are back in the car for another update. I finished another book. I finished Christmas Presents by Lisa Unger. Also, it's raining, as you can tell over here, so sorry if you can hear my windshield wipers. I can't really turn them off. So this book was good. It was very slow. It didn't start picking up until almost like 150 pages, 160 pages into it, which to me was a little too slow. But there were things about the ending that I really, really enjoyed. I did predict part of the twist. Like, I know I got it right who did it, but there were some other things involved with it that I didn't guess. And so I actually, ended up really enjoying this one. I think I'm going to give this one 4 stars. It's a very low 4 stars, but I liked it more than I liked the Christmas Appeal, so that's why I'm going to give it 4 stars. But yeah, like I said, it took a while for this one to pick up, but once it picked up, it was pretty intense for a while, and I really enjoyed that. There was some like cute things in the ending, so if you don't like that in your thrillers, then maybe you don't like this one. But also, it's a Christmas story, so I mean, I feel like you had to assume that there maybe was some like a little bit of like lightheartedness because it's set to draw on Christmas. So that one I'm gonna give 4 stars, and then I just barely, like literally 7 pages in, started The Christmas Guest by Peter Swanson, and it looks like we're following this girl. I can't remember her name right now, so sorry about that. It looks like she never really does much around Christmas time, and this year, Christmas time, she like found a diary. She was like cleaning out her room or her closet or something on Christmas, and she like stumbled upon an old diary that she used to write in and journal in, I guess. And this was from like 30 years prior, when she was in London, and a girl in like her class or something like that, I don't know a whole lot about the girl, she had invited her to her family's Christmas dinner because our main girl, sorry, I wish I remembered her name, but like I said, I've only read 7 pages. She never did anything for Christmas. When she went to London, she like didn't have any family. Her father, like, she never knew who her father was. Her mom had died of something, and so she didn't have a lot of family. She never did anything, and so she accepted this invitation 30 years prior, we find in the diary. And I know that some like crazy stuff happened at this dinner, and I'm intrigued to see what will come of this. I mean, the title is literally The Christmas Guest, so that's to be expected that something like this would happen. So, like I said, I'm excited to see where it's going to go from here. It seems like a lot of this might be told through these diary entries, which I'm not a huge fan of. Kind of like in the Christmas Appeal. I ended up getting like used to it in that book, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of, I guess it's like mixed media, but I don't know. This one's a little bit easier though, because it's literally just this girl's diary. It's not like email and text exchanges from like a million different people or between a million different people. So yeah, we will give you an update, or I will give you an update when I have one, when I've read a little bit more. I should definitely finish this today. I actually have the audiobook as well, and I think it's like an hour-long audiobook at like 2 times speed that I'm going to be listening to it at. So yes, we should be able to finish this video today, and I'm very excited about it. So I'll catch you when I have another update. All right, sorry if the lighting gets a little crazy during this clip. It's a very gloomy time right now, and also I'm feeding Maverick, so sorry about that noise too. But I am almost done with The Christmas Guest, and I have not really given much of an update except for 7 pages in when I didn't know a whole lot. But this book is basically in 2 parts as far as I know. I'm in part 2, and the first part is entirely we're like reading through Ashley, that's the main girl's name, diary entries from like 30 years ago. So that was fine. It was interesting. The second part of the book is kind of where things get a little wild, because we are getting a different point of view. We're getting her friend's point of view, who like invited her to be a guest for Christmas. And I'm really intrigued with this second part. I'm flying through it. I have about 15-20 minutes left in the audiobook, I think. And this one could be my favorite of the 3 books, depending on how the ending lands. But I think I'm enjoying this one the most, and I've definitely flown through this one the most. Now, I will say this one has been the shortest of the 3 that I've read, but I've been the most intrigued the entire way through. So we'll see how it ends, but good vibes so far, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm excited to finish this up as soon as I'm done feeding him, and I can get you my final update, my ranking of these, and yeah, all the good stuff. So I will check in at the end of the book. All right, I have just now finished The Christmas Guest by Peter Swanson, and I really enjoyed this one. This is definitely my favorite of the 3. This one is still a 4-star read though, and I will say I think that the ending of this book is definitely going to be a hit or miss for everybody, because I think that there's a trope involved in this that is not going to be people's favorites. And so for that reason, I guess proceed with caution. I think the synopsis might even say potentially what it is. But yeah, I really liked this one. I liked the second part better than I liked the first part, because the first part was, like I said, in the perspective of our main girl, Ashley. And then the second part was from her friend, and that part was more interesting. It moved a little bit quicker for me. And so with that, I really enjoyed this one. So there you have The Christmas Guest. And I think I would rate them opposite of how I read them. So this one would be my favorite, and then Christmas Presents, and then The Christmas Appeal. But I really liked all 3 of them, so I would definitely check them out if you are looking for some Christmas thrillers. So with that, that is the end of this video. Check the description box, because I'll have these 3 books linked down below, and you'll find a whole bunch of other links down there for me and other places. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because I would really, really love to have you. And I should see you again soon in another video. And with that, bye!